And here we're back. Another episode of SNARK Trek.
Why?
Just jumping around next gen for a little bit here.
Why does Picard always start out talking about his logs? It's so messed up.
It's tradition. It's naval tradition. Every time you make a log, you have to tell somebody about it.
That's why they call it the poop deck.
Yes.
Hey, look, a beard.
So we're in season 4. This episode introduces us to a couple cool things in Star Trek. First of all, the Cardassians.
Oh.
Here Picard is reminiscing about a time when he fought with them back on the Stargazer. And also the Nebula-class starship, which is like the hatchback. I've heard someone on the internet say it's the hatchback version of the Galaxy class because it's like they took the nacelles, turned them over, and shrunk it a little bit.
Right.
And like you get the sedan version, that's the Enterprise. The Phoenix, as you will see, is like the Civic hatchback.
It's like a crossover.
Yeah, you get the Civic or the CRX, basically. But also four-wheel drive, so it's like it's still a kick-ass little ship.
That's really good.
Yeah. So basically, this episode introduces us to the Cardassians, and used to be at war with the Federation. Also, Miles O'Brien just got married, and he doesn't know what the fuck this is that his wife is serving him for breakfast. Looks like Mexican fried ice cream to me. But
even when they moved over to Deep Space Nine and were on that series, their relationship always felt very mail order bride-ish. Not because of her race, but because of their complete lack of knowledge to what each other are and are into.
Well, they've always played that whole, like, she's a military wife and he's like a staff sergeant, right? Like a chief. So
yeah.
They just got to go live wherever he's assigned. Even though he's been in Starfleet for 50 years. But also like she's fine on the Enterprise, but Deep Space, yeah, she turns into a real kind of a nag on Deep Space Nine, where it's like, Miles, everything's broken in our quarters. Miles, I don't have a job because there's no botany on this station. Miles, the Cardassians are trying to kill us again. You know, just always a complainer.
I remember a Deep Space Nine episode where his life literally hung in the balance of her mistakenly thinking that he didn't drink coffee late in the day, even though he did.
Yeah.
Which just, again, shows their marriage. It's like, you live with him. How could you not know that sometimes in the evening he gets a cup of coffee?
And also, the running gag was that I think once a season, the station had to be evacuated, like all non-Starfleet personnel. And it's like, there's always got to be that scene where he sees Molly and Keiko off at the dock, at the dock or the hatch, the airlock. And it's like, once again, we got to go hide on Bajor or some Federation planet. First view of a Cardassian ship on the show here.
I never liked the Cardassian ships. I felt like they kind of looked like boxcars built by the kid who, isn't good at building boxcars. See, look at that thing. It looks like it's backward.
Yeah, well, like the way it tapers off, it's like they ran out of stuff. Like, okay, just finish it.
Waiting for something to happen.
Pew, 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 pew.
Enterprise.exe has ceased functioning.
Those, we only had the budget for some special effects in this episode. I think later a whole battle just takes place as 2 dots on the view screen. Because they're like, we don't have $1 million to film this. And we get Mark Alimo in his first role. Later he would be, of course, the wonderful, magnificent performance of Gul Dukat. On DS9, but here
he was Gul Dukat.
Here he's Gul Dukat's. Fan canon always assumed he's Gul Dukat's brother or a cousin.
Why is he wearing Doc Brown's helmet there?
This is they got rid of those after this episode. They're like, nah, we don't need those.
I always thought that the Cardassians looked like if a reptilian race had zombies.
I always thought they were lizard people. Instead of monkeys evolving, lizards evolved on their planet.
Well, no, actually, isn't there a Deep Space episode where they hint at that they're reptilian?
I think so.
Like someone just straight up says it, right? Like
they have cold blood or something. They have reptilian skin.
Yeah.
But also somehow they can there's half Bajor and half Cardassian characters that there's no problem with. It's just as easy as humans and Vulcans, I guess. So what they're discussing is some rogue Starfleet captain is blowing up Cardassian ships when he's not supposed to be, obviously. And Picard's like, "What? No, Starfleet captains don't disobey orders. You must have the wrong guy."
That's never happened.
Oh, come on. Of course, he is disobeying orders because he's flashing back to the war.
PTSD, that's not real, Steven.
Yeah.
Don't you know that PTSD, just like coronavirus, is a hoax?
It's all a hoax.
It's all a hoax.
Just get over it. Come on.
Jesus.
You survived. You're done. It's just get over it. Of course, this Captain Maxwell is portrayed by the wonderful actor Bob Gunton, who you will recognize from many feature films. Typecast as always an antagonist of some kind, always a total a-hole. He's the warden in Shawshank Redemption. I mean, that's pretty much the epitome of a-hole.
Just being an a-hole, yeah.
He's the captain in Demolition Man. I don't understand your caveman ways, John Spartan.
I never understood
natural
caveman
choice
ways.
for captain. That's like he's one of those. I think I've said this in other things we've talked about, William, where some Starfleet captains are more military minded, and they're just in command of other scientific missions they're the experienced middle manager guy that you put in charge of your team. But he's not himself a scientist. He's a leader.
Well, and I guess naturally you have to have someone in that role, right? You got to have someone who's just a leader to be the leader.
Yeah.
But this is fucking Starfleet. We're all just pacifists.
What? Another fun fact, another episode we recorded recently featured Tasha Yar, and this episode features Rosalind Chow as Keiko O'Brien. Rosalind Chow was among the runners-up to play Tasha Yar when they were casting the show. When it was still, the character was still conceived as based on Vasquez from Aliens, as tough ethnic somebody. Obviously, Rosalind Chow is not Latina, but they were casting a wide net of ethnicity and settled on blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman.
What's weird too is I don't see her as playing a tough role either. Not that I think her acting would be limited for it. She just doesn't have like the. I don't know. I feel like she doesn't have the voice for it. I've
never seen her in any other role where she's been tough. She's always been just very.
Well, and she's got she's got like a higher, softer voice.
Well, she's a sweetheart. And she's great as Keiko O'Brien because she's a sweetheart with a bit of a bitchy side. Because she's always, like I said, she's always nagging, Miles, they tried to blow up my school. Miles, our daughter is infected with some weird alien parasite.
There's nothing wrong with either of those things.
It's like, hey, Starfleet wife, lady, come on.
Oh my God.
For the ride.
Whatever lens they used for that shot, didn't it look like Data was tiny?
It was like Data in Hobbit perspective.
Yeah, that was crazy. He almost looked like they shot him later and blue screened him in and just got it wrong. He looked really, really small. I swear to God, Troy, stop sleeping with Riker.
Yeah, Riker wishes she was sleeping with him.
Okay, I have to make a note to Picard, the wonderful, wonderful award-winning series that you just showed me a little while ago. Picard was like, Data, I need this information. And Data's like, accessing. And he looks at the floor back and forth for a second, right?
Yes.
Seems like something a robot or an AI would do. But then we're watching fucking Picard, and he asks, the annex or whatever the hell she was, the hologram for her information.
Librarian.
And she does the damn the laser eyes.
Because they didn't care about having her act. And you got to do something to pass the time with Got to do an eye flicker to show that she's accessing something.
How many turtles had to die for those costumes?
Somewhere those helmets exist in props vault somewhere.
So if I remember correctly, Troy just got a whiff of his like wartime angst.
He's like,
them.
his racism and bigotry towards the bloody Cardies. Those bloody Cardies.
What an ineffective meeting table.
I always wonder, like, who chooses. Sometimes they film at this end of the table. Sometimes they film at the other end of the table. Like, it's just whatever they're feeling like that day.
Yeah, I think. In fact, your beard is bothering my beard.
He's got like a weird, like a Fu Manchu. Almost like the old Klingon mustache, but without the mustache. Just the lip, whatever the chin strap things.
Yeah, it's
Double
almost like if you
strap.
melted a wax copy of Lincoln a little bit and it just kind of slid down. That's what his beard is. It's called the meh. I'm sorry, I just saw his face making that noise.
Well, Riker was like, Picard just owned the Cardassians with some data there or whatever. And Riker's like, yeah, baby. You own those Cardies. I understand Captain Maxwell was horribly scarred for life by having his whole family massacred by these very men in the room. It's like, it's pretty on the nose there. Yeah, Marco Limo's great. He's also, my other favorite role of his is he's the captain in Total Recall on Mars. Who's like, don't shoot the glass. And Michael Ironside's like, fuck you, I'm going to shoot at the glass. And
then he shoots the glass.
And Marco Limo gives him this look like, what did I tell you about not shooting at the glass?
And your Hershey's chocolate suit.
Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of these, whatever those things are, the spike thing uniforms that they would wear on Deep Space Nine. And everything.
Oh, yeah.
Great uniform. Smells like bloody Cardi in here.
Why don't they have a security escort?
Not to be offended to our new allies, apparently, I guess. I don't know.
I think every Cardassian is made of two other Cardassians that they weld together.
I always thought, like, are their necks, because their bones are on either side of their necks, like that's their vertebrae, like are their necks hollow? Like could you punch through their neck like there's no neck bone like a human has behind his throat?
Maybe they really are like lizards, and when they get scared, their whole head can pop off and it just regrows another one.
Oh,
so that's like the segmented bones that just kind of hold it on.
There you go. I'm going to go home and bang my Japanese wife I know nothing about, but just got married to.
See, what's stupid right here is that Cardassian was actually insanely civil to him just now.
Yeah, that's the message is old wounds are hard to heal.
But still, I mean, even with that, like, he didn't have to respond. I mean, that's just his, like, fiery Irish temper.
Yeah.
Because that guy was just like, you know, if you wouldn't mind talking to me. And, you know, Brian's like, fuck you, dick.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I want to learn about phasers. And Miles O'Brien is like, I don't fucking care about your, Of course, you got to be worried about, you give him some information that he's going to take home and he's going to make Cardassian phasers better. That's going to end up killing some humans eventually. I don't know. Think about the big picture.
The secret is we take the double A's out of ours and we put 9 volts in them.
We turn ours to 11.
You know, their suits they have in this episode look like that egg crate kind of stuff you get when you like get crickets at the pet shop for your lizard. It's like kind of crackly and like it's just like it's like water brushed on to make it stick.
Well, I don't own a lizard, so I've never bought crickets at a pet shop, but I will believe you.
It's kind of like milk, or it's kind of like egg carrying crates, but like cracklier.
See, here's where he turns the tables on Keiko. Here's something that's all carbs that Irish people eat. And she's like, I've never smelled potatoes before. But it goes great with
Cardassians. Kill them with a knife.
All the women and children, blow them up.
Put their head on pikes. Here's your meal, sweetie.
Enjoy it with your cherry Kool-Aid.
Is that supposed to be shepherd's pie?
No, it's casserole.
I know, but I mean, shepherd's pie is technically a casserole.
Well, yeah. Oh, Miles, I didn't know you liked to sing before we got married. Keep finding out things about you, sweetie. Huh?
You know, I remember my time in the Shire.
Yeah, like you, buddy.
Yeah.
You just had this whole scene in the turbo lift where you were a complete jerk. Capers.
Why should anyone still hate those fucking idiots?
Yeah. Why would anyone refuse a drink and 10 forward with those bloody, racist, evil, murdering Cardies?
Yeah, why would anyone ever want to be angry at those lizard-faced, scaly weirdos?
Those lying, deceptive, spoonheads.
Fake polite. I mean, it's just, ugh.
All right, so trivia. This guy here at the helm, I forget the actor's name, but he's a regular stand-in. You'll see him in a ton of episodes. He's Brent Spiner's hand double. So anytime they zoom in on hands, they didn't want to keep Brent Spiner there after hours. So they put the makeup on this guy's hands and just have him push the buttons.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That was his job. And that's like the blue collar, working everyday Hollywood actor job.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of Star Trek was that for a lot of people. You know, a lot of regulars would show up as security guards or navigators or people, the science stations in the back. See, this whole battle is going to be dots on the view screen because it's 1991 and we just don't have that kind of money to do model work for every battle.
What? I wasn't listening.
Well, the goal, whatever, is trying to get Picard to cough up some command codes so they can have a upper hand on the Phoenix. But Picard's like, well, if I give you the command codes for the Phoenix, then you'll know what command codes are.
Mm-hmm.
And he's about to do it. Worf, I know what prefix codes are. I'm the captain. Worf is his major fault is there's like a ton of supercuts where Worf is always suggesting something that gets shot down. But like, no, Worf, we're not gonna fire phasers. No, Worf, we're not gonna punch him in the face. No, Worf, we're not gonna raise the shields. It's just poor Worf, always getting denied.
Jim Halpert, navigator.
He just kept mugging for the camera, playing pranks on Data, like putting his tricorder in Jello.
The Phoenix is making a grilled cheese sandwich. The Phoenix has started dating again.
Yeah, just the whole battle narrated by Data. Dots on a view screen.
I would love to have the entirety of every Dr. Seuss book read by Brent Spiner as Data. It's a supply ship.
Yeah. It's like, Jean-Luc, the Phoenix just destroyed a warship.
Never mind. 100,000.
And it's like, what the hell were you going at warp 4 to begin? Like, you should have been at warp 9 this whole time.
It should have been like,
You
let's
would have
get
been
our
there by
asses
now.
over there.
650 people there, Jean-Luc. And now you got this guy mad at you, which is not a good first impression. Oh, Captain, I'm just tinkering with the Heisenberg compensators.
Found out they take SD cards now.
I like to change the isolinear chips every once in a while. It's just to mix it up. Just, it's hilarious.
Sometimes people come out with their legs and their ears.
There's this old movie called Spaceballs where the guy's head turns around. It's a weird, oddly familiar joke, but with an oddly familiar piece of technology. But, sir, got to check it out.
Yeah. For science.
For science. Yeah, everyone who met him would never know that his whole family was murdered by Cardassians.
Yeah. It's really too bad he didn't get on the boat with Frodo to go off.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no consequences just taking that anger and bottling it up for 20 years,
I mean, that's what I do, and I've only punched one cat to death. So I think I'm doing great bottling up my anger.
You must be pretty quick for a cat to let you punch it to death. Like, cats are pretty fast. It's like when Rocky's chasing the chicken around the yard. Like, cats are damn near impossible to catch.
When they're fat and lazy like mine is.
Oh man.
You've napped with my cat. You know that she just sprawls out.
Well, she's easily lured into a false sense of security. You give her food and cuddles. She So we're talking over this poignant conversation about bigotry, and once again, O'Brien fails to see that he's the one who needs to learn the lesson first here. Actually, maybe this is this is where he realizes.
I'm going to buy that Cardassian a drink that he might be allergic to. I just think it's adorable that Cardassian doesn't know how to tell O'Brien that he's attracted to him. It's just
he's making all the moves. Yeah. So he's doing all the signals.
He's just shy about it. It's like, Cardassian, step up, buddy. You be you.
I just want to. Sorry, I was awkward earlier. I just you're
just such a beautiful man.
Making conversation. I just love your curly hair and.
This is
whiskey,
talk about
I really do want to talk about phasers, though.
You know how they get hot when you blast them too much, O'Brien?
He just reaches over and puts a hand on him. I accept your apology, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, my God. Is there going to be a weird, erotic fan fiction made up of that now?
They told me the human rectum doesn't self-lubricate.
Ours does.
I was hoping to find that out firsthand.
Fuck it. I can't talk to you, snake face. I'm out of here.
Which is why it looked like a school and a hospital and a church and a bunch of kids running around.
Had a big
like
sign.
Any massive attack staging area would look like. Those humans are so deceptive.
Does he mean like position-wise or technologically or ethically? Like, how were they advancing?
The Cardassians were mounting a counterattack.
Thrusting their lives deep within our borders. Look at his face.
Penetrating deeper and deeper into our lines.
And then they just broke through all the way.
And we're just having this lighthearted conversation while O'Brien is relaying the time he killed a man. It's like, sorry.
Do you want to?
Here is some goddamn character development, and we're ruining it by being Beavis and Butthead over here.
Wasn't that the intent?
So snarky.
I don't know. I kind of think that the supposed gay romance between O'Brien and this Cardassian is so
That's where we started. That's true. That is where we started.
It's just so interesting. He has a name. Cardassian.
Wait, are you saying you still blame me for something? I thought we were friends now.
No,
Sorry?
I think
O'Brien, Chief?
I think that was like the calm admittance, when he's like, I'm still mad, but I'm aware I'm mad because of me, kind of a thing. We don't need a close-up of this. Yeah. Not in HD. You can back up. Just go ahead and...
Well, this was also... Kind of thankfully, they changed the Cardassian complexion to like that kind of gray.
It's like a pale gray. Yeah. Almost like a sand, like stone color. Yeah. Maybe it's just warmer on the Enterprise than they're used to, so they're getting like flushed.
Or they've been in deep space so long that they've got the old uniforms and they don't have the tan that they get from being on Cardassia.
That would support them being reptiles, because there's some reptiles who change their color,
True.
Based on their environment. Yeah. So, yeah.
Like chameleons. And chameleons are also very sneaky, like Cardassians. Would you like to meet my fish? Also, on it when you watch these in the HD, because this is on, we're watching on Netflix. You can find these on Netflix, Amazon, VHS at your local library. But when you watch them on the HD Blu-ray transfer on streaming, look in the background at the carpet. In some scenes, you'll see like they didn't vacuum or like there's a coffee stain, like they couldn't clean up before filming that day. That never would have showed up on my old, even on watching on cable, on my old 4x3 TV as a kid.
Yeah, there was an episode I was watching with Heather, and I was trying to point out to her all the stuff you could see. Like to your point, it's like the detail in this painting and stuff was kind of blurry, before and everything. But we were watching, and both of us noticed Dr. Crusher was leaving sickbay, and the doors shut behind her. And like they have a lot of those shots where they stick on that for a second, for like before the commercial. And like the door at the top went off kilter.
Yeah,
and it was just kind of open a little bit.
They didn't expect you would see that because your old TV screen curves up and around.
Yep. And commercial. And we're back.
And the Phoenix, the compact Enterprise here.
Hey guys, you hear about all those Cardassians I killed? It was awesome.
Also, I'm from Texas. Howdy.
What the fuck is this?
Wait, you were a bloodthirsty Starfleet Marine and now you're a transporter chief? Okay.
He needed something
Enjoy
calm.
semi-retirement. Which is why he's not serving in tactical. He's the transporter chief. But he's they've used O'Brien, like he was a helm officer in his first appearance. Then all of a sudden, like when he moves to Deep Space Nine, he's like a Scotty. All of a sudden, even though he really never was shown fixing anything on Next Gen.
Well,
except for the transporter.
Maybe he just got on the Enterprise too early. He was in one of those times where they were overhiring intentionally because they knew they would lose some people who just weren't interested in their positions.
Oh.
So they're like, hey, come on, and we'll just kind of put you wherever for the day, and then we'll find a permanent spot for you. And then, Transporter Chief came up, and he's like, all right, it's easy enough.
Or maybe like Starfleet's like a merit base, like for non-commissioned, non-academy people, like O'Brien, he's a chief or like a chief petty officer. Maybe it's like, oh, you've served in battle and you saw a massacre. You can choose any job you want. You can be a waiter if you'd like.
Yeah.
Or a transporter chief.
We have waiter and transporter chief open. Do waiters get tips? No, but transporter chiefs do. I'll
Tips,
take
we
that.
don't have any money. What are we, Ferengi?
You know, they got other races coming up.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a science station. It's a science station.
I hang out in certain bars. I know a few people with big mouths. Pointing for emphasis.
Yeah. He like gesticulated so hard. I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at the fucking green rock over Picard's shoulder.
I never understood. The only thing that distracts me about the ready room, he's got these orange things just on his desk. Like, what are those? Those little plastic things.
That's him and Data's like 10-year-long game of Battleship.
Okay. Like, if he had anything on his desk, I think it would at least be something like a ceramic seagull. Something classy. Maybe an old pen set.
Or what? Like
or a book.
5 phones.
Yeah.
This isn't a bureaucrat's office. That painting of the Enterprise is badass. By starting war. It's weird, but it works. Is he flying that ship all alone, or does he have people with him?
Some Starfleet crews just blindly follow orders.
Apparently.
And there was no budget. The only guest stars we can have in this episode are the 3 Cardassians and Miles and Keiko. We can't have any other crew member from the Phoenix show up and like, hey, I've been questioning this the whole time.
Yeah, because
I thought we had a treaty with the Cardis.
That would have been an awesome plot point. He comes on with his first officer, and this guy walks off with Picard, and like the first officer goes to O'Brien. And
first officer's like, no,
I need to speak to someone immediately.
Yeah, I need to dial. Like he's dialing 911 to order a pizza. Like, would you please take this guy into custody? He's doing the eye thing, like Brig.
Sorry, I'm just allergic to something in here. Brig.
Yeah, Brig. It's like at first we were just humoring him, but now he's gone full just insanity, and we literally blew up 3 ships just now, so it's gone too far.
Yeah, we figured it'd be fun, fly out into their space, wing a couple phaser shots across their bow and take off. Like no big deal, but no, then he killed them.
Careful, you idiot! I said across their nose, not up it. Ship full of assholes, apparently.
Keep firing, assholes!
And then Picard does the dumbest thing here and says, okay, you can go back to your ship now. And the first thing he does is he changes course and tries to attack another ship. It's like, Jean-Luc.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
No, it's the minstrel boy to the war has flown. I forget. I guess because I'm not a veteran. I've never served in a war. I can't remember any cool songs.
I still want to hear the full version of the Temporal Anomaly country song. Do you think anyone ever trips on the edge of the architecture on the bridge? Like, it's just coming down.
They take the corner too close and they trip on the wood as it crosses over there.
Yep. Data turns around and goes womp womp.
Well, it's like, does anyone standing where Worf is, like, do they stick their foot through accidentally, like step behind the captain's chair? Or does things fall down and roll off behind the Excuse me, Captain, can I just reach behind you? My Tic Tac fell behind you there.
Oh, there's that thing where, that like someone's got some bad ankles and they're like trying to lean back and forth, to like get them comfortable.
Well, it's like
and the captain's
they're
like,
clicking their ankle. Yeah, it's like right behind me. Like, stop clicking your ankle, Ensign, or I'll put you on gamma shift. I'm sure it's just making a regular beer run. It's not weapons. Certainly not weapons.
You know, sometimes around Christmas when Worf is sleeping, they hang ornaments from his face.
It's too much blood wine. He passes out.
Every Christmas party, Worf. Every Christmas party.
He wakes up. He's like, "Oh, I need a large prune juice," and looks in the mirror like, "What the hell?" Data!
They've tenseled me again.
I will never live down this dishonor.
Oh, tripped over that line a little bit. Couldn't do another take. Couldn't be like, no, Cardassian, not Cardassian.
Chief O'Brien's like, "I'll just stand here. He doesn't even get to sit down on the little Dr. Crusher tuffet next to Gul Dukat there."
Well, he's trying not to interrupt the conversation because it seems serious, but he needs to ask for days off.
I know it's not the best time, but I've got to use some sick time.
Really need Tuesday.
Need some personal days.
Yeah, I just really need Tuesday. Nice couch.
Why are you sitting so close to the camera, sir?
It's just like we know you get like the iPad for your grandparents, right? They don't know how to use it, so they're just like holding it right up in their face.
FaceTiming.
Yeah. Like he's been flying ships forever. He's not aware of the whole communication technology. I also like how he's talking from his ready room.
He's got a leather couch.
Yeah.
And
wouldn't he be on the
ferns.
bridge?
Well, again, they couldn't,
Can't show another bridge?
can't build a whole set just for 2 minutes of show. Again, Star Trek, it's a TV show, but sometimes you got to use your imagination. Got to picture there's a whole crew of 1,000 people on board the Phoenix, just like completely oblivious to the fact that they're accessories to an active war here, basically.
I also like how tense the situation is, and the Cardassian captain is just so chilling in his chair.
He's got the pose with his hand over his crotch there, like, whatever.
Oh, there goes O'Brien talking about getting inside someone.
Oh, yeah, and of course, O'Brien knows a way to beam through the shields. Because plot.
Yes, sir. So they got to tough him out for 5.5 minutes. See, to reprogram a transporter, it takes...
There's the Enterprise, all right.
I got through.
Holy shit, you're not a member of my crew. You're Miles O'Brien.
Phaser, I barely know her. That's how you can tell he's Irish too, is he has a wool uniform and everyone else has the nice felted uniforms. Like, look at that.
Well, that's the thing about the HD is you can see the fabric on that. You never see that on an old VHS copy.
Where's my other plaque?
Oh, wait. Oh, crap. That's right. That was 20 years ago. Shit, what the fuck have I been doing?
Well, yeah, that's true, but they're not making one right now.
Not on the Federation, anyway. Everyone else, sure.
Yeah, the Bajorans.
Wait till you find out. Well, yeah, wait till you find out what they've been doing on Bajor. See, he's got the college dorm room couch there.
He does. Yeah.
And some ferns. Like, that's one thing when they do have a ready room set, they try to make it look like each captain has personality.
Yeah.
Instead of art, he's got a star chart of some kind.
It does, though, look a little bit like this room was prefixed by the words casting couch.
Well, it's like, we need furniture. Just bring that one in from the production office. Ready waiting room.
You don't want to use that couch.
A couch that's got some mileage. Yeah, that's it.
Let's just say Marina Sirtis is sitting on that couch sometimes for her other roles.
Yeah, we bought it secondhand from the Canon prop department.
Remember that time you choked out a Cardassian with your bare hands? That was fun. Oh, wait, no, don't two people sit on the desk. It'll flip.
I think it's also a futon. He probably spends a few hours at the office.
Because this is a smaller ship. There is no bridge. There's his ready room, and there's like a navigator's console right outside.
Right.
The whole entirety of the ship is like a studio apartment.
I always just assumed, like, why wouldn't it have the same bridge as the Enterprise? It's the same saucer.
That's true.
Like, this could just be, they could have just used Picard's ready room set and just decorated it differently. Like, they took the time when Jellicoe takes over. In fact, I hate this song, so I'm just going to talk over it. When Jellicoe takes over the Enterprise in season 6, he literally has all of Picard's shit packed up and shipped out and has his kids' crayon drawings posted everywhere. And, like, he moves in. They could have just done that with this guy and said, oh, it's the same ship as the Enterprise, just make it look different. He's got a different fish back there, maybe.
Yeah, well, and
he already has a different model ship.
It would make sense too, especially for the Enterprise or not the Enterprise, but the Federation. That's what they do is kind of build these cookie cutter ships,
right?
That not so much like it's all exactly the same ship. It's like, but this is our standardized bridge. This is our standardized engineering.
Yeah.
And
like the fans will understand.
core.
Like, just tell us it's a different ship. We
Yeah.
won't say, oh no, it looks just like the Enterprise. I don't get it.
The Federation pulled the budget on this ship so much that not only is it smaller, but they only have one red alert light.
Yeah, it's just flashing right in their faces, too. Which is what you should have done an hour ago, sir. But oh well, we wouldn't have had that dramatic ending.
I do like how the other ship, though, has that wicked spoiler for when it goes really fast.
Yeah. It was to keep it from lifting up at high warp.
Yeah.
Lifting off the ground.
So it doesn't lose speed. It's
Yeah.
still got warp traction.
I think that was the high speed sensor thingy O'Brien was talking about earlier. Messed up the shields. Because every other Nebula ship you see after that has a different, like a newer looking, like a triangle shaped, cooler looking one.
It's like their deflector array, right?
It's torpedoes, I thought, because the deflector dish is underneath the ship, like the Enterprise.
Mm. Which you only get for killing 100 Cardassians.
And that's why you thought it was great. He could just be completely content commanding science missions and charting gaseous anomalies. Instead of having him, like, how about you give him the vineyard for a while? And then when we have another war, you call him up and say, hey, oh, Maxwell, there's a war. We need a wartime captain. Get back to your ship.
Yeah.
And here's where Picard totally owns. He's like, I know you guys are lying, but, I'm not going to start a war to prove it. We're just very secretive about our cargo, sir.
You guys moving boxes that say not weapons.
I believe you have something called the secret recipe. That's what we got. 11 herbs and spices. No, because Worf would have killed you at the first chance he got.
Knock it off.
Yeah. Stay out of Malibu, Lebowski. He gives him the look, and he just turns his back on him like, you're dismissed. Like, yeah, John Luke.
He just wanted to turn around because, like, that took a lot out of him emotionally. He was about to cry.
Yeah.
He's like, don't let him see you cry.
Strong men also cry.
Do you think O'Brien and Keiko ended up inviting that Cardassian into their marriage?
Oh, I thought you were going to say like just over for dinner, but you went way beyond.
I mean, it was like, clear where they were going in the bar.
Hey, Cardi, you want to come over for some casserole and some weird Japanese food?
Well, thank you for joining us for another SNARK Trek.
Yes.
It was another exercise in love, learning, and deep-rooted bigotry.
Yes. One of my favorite episodes. I mean, it's great message, great character development of O'Brien there. And yeah, well, see ya.